but worth over $100 million. Not because the tickets cost that much, but because they used magic to steal $170 million. The heist is about to begin. This is a stage in Las Vegas. 4 magicians are about to rob a real bank in front of tens of thousands of people in the audience. The first step is choosing which bank to hit. Through a random lottery, they select a lucky audience member. But it turns out this guy is French. That means the difficulty of the trick just went up. Now the magicians have to rob a bank in Paris all the way from Las Vegas. The audience member is fitted with a teleportation helmet. Then he randomly draws a card from Nick's hand and signs his name on it. Henley pulls back the curtain and reveals a teleportation portal. The man steps through. The bank opens in 10 minutes. The teleportation begins immediately.
1, 2,
3.
As the audience gasps in shock, a live feed appears on the big screen. The man has actually been teleported inside the vault of a Paris bank. Staring at the piles of cash in front of him, he cannot believe his eyes. Nick tells him to place the signed card and his entrance ticket into the pile of money, then press the button on the helmet. Instantly, a powerful blast of air sucks all the cash into a tube, and the very next second, money starts raining down from the ceiling at the venue. Meanwhile in Paris, the bank has just opened for business. The staff unlocks the vault, and all 30 million inside has completely vanished. Since the bank was robbed, police quickly arrest the 4 magicians and the audience member. But no matter how hard they push during interrogation, the crew insists they were just performing magic. It was nothing more than a show. If there are any further questions, talk to their lawyer. The lucky audience member swears in shock that he really was teleported. After hours of interrogation, the police still cannot find any solid evidence. They can only be acquitted. Since the case is just too bizarre, they bring in a well-known magic debunker named Wade. Wade has a big reputation in the industry, just not a good one. He makes a living by exposing magic tricks, which has forced many fellow magicians out of the business. He even indirectly caused the death of an escape artist. But the police have no choice. He is their only shot at finding holes in the crew's act. And Wade does not disappoint. He was watching from the audience that day and had already cracked their trick. He even lets Detective Jack experience the feeling of teleportation firsthand. It turns out the mechanism is hidden beneath the stage. During the lottery, they always had 2 balls in their hands. That lucky audience member was never randomly selected. Wade believes the man had been hypnotized multiple times beforehand, which is why everything went so smoothly on stage. The scattered cash was not stolen from the bank either. It came from a recent armored truck robbery. That sounds extremely difficult, but for 4 people who are masters of hypnosis, it is simple. Hearing all this, Jack is still confused. Then how did the money inside the bank actually disappear?
Flash paper.
Magician time.
Breathe no smoke.
Once their methods are confirmed, the police tail them closely, waiting for a slip-up. Meanwhile, the 4 magicians are already gearing up for their next move. Soon both sides cross paths in Venice. But the magic crew is not worried about being chased at all. They boldly kick off their next performance. As the energy in the crowd builds to a peak, the crew launches into tonight's grand finale. They call up an audience member and ask him to state his bank account balance. But after he gives the number, Will says he got it wrong. Then he invites a wealthy man from the audience up to the stage and holds up a card showing 140 million. That is the rich man's entire fortune. Under the glow of a flashlight, the number begins to shrink, while the balances of the audience members keep climbing. Finally, the magic crew reveals the truth. They have deceived everyone. The audience members whose balances went up were not chosen at random. They were a very specific group of people. What they all have in common is that they survived disasters but were cheated out of their insurance claims by one company. Now the crew's mission is to use magic to return the money to them. And this wealthy man is the owner of that very insurance company. When the rich man tries to fight back, his feet are firmly shackled to the floor. At the same time, Jack quickly rallies his officers to close in. But the moment he rushes the stage, hypnotized audience members tackle him and pin him down. All he can do is watch helplessly as the crew escapes on zip lines. Back at the station, Jack immediately launches a pursuit. He has his team track their phones. After 3 hours of location tracing, the police surround a residential building in New York. The commotion outside tips off the magic crew. They quickly pack up and evacuate, leaving only Will behind to destroy evidence. But there is way too much to get rid of. By the time the police break in, he has no time to escape. Luckily, his reflexes are sharp enough to get him out of the building. He grabs a car and floors it. But the entire city has already been locked down. Escaping is not that easy. He is quickly spotted on a bridge. With more and more police closing in, he panics and the car flips on its side. When the officers reach the wreck, he is unconscious inside. Jack tries to pull him out, but the fire keeps growing stronger. The car finally explodes right before their eyes. But losing a teammate does not stop the remaining magicians. They post a new video online announcing an even more spectacular show tonight in New York. This feels like a direct challenge to the police. Jack immediately studies the case files and deduces that their next target is a secure vault. He rushes over with his entire team, but they are one step too late. By the time they arrive, the vault has been completely emptied. Remembering the large truck that just pulled away, the team races to intercept it. They think they have saved the day, but when they rip open the cargo doors, all they find is a bunch of useless balloons. So where did all that cash actually go? Meanwhile, the Magic Cruise show begins as planned despite the manhunt. When the police spot them, officers charge forward to make the arrest. But after tackling them to the ground, they realize these are just dummies.
This has been one hell of a ride for all of us. But it's time for us to disappear. Good night, New York. And thank you for believing in us. Stop! Please!
And the show is not over yet. Wade heads home only to find millions of dollars mysteriously stuffed inside his car. It is the exact same cash that was stolen today. Moments later, a swarm of police surround him.
You're under arrest! Hands in the air!
Wade has been set up as the fall guy and is thrown straight into prison. When Jack comes to visit, Wade says he has figured everything out. The vault was never actually robbed in the first place. The reason it looked empty was because mirrors created an illusion that fooled everyone's eyes. Then while all the police were busy chasing the truck, one person slipped into the vault and carried out all the money. That person was Will. He had faked his own death to vanish completely. The car flip on the bridge was actually a diversion staged by the crew. They swapped vehicles with an identical car at a blind spot in the police coverage. Then he played dead. After all, nobody tracks the movements of a dead man. Wade pieces all of this together. But if his theory is correct, the crew would still need one more person tying everything together. There are actually 5 members in this magic crew.
Why?
That is the question, isn't it? You're right.
Then Detective Jack turns around and walks away. That is right. He is the 5th member. Every single step of the plan was orchestrated by him. It turns out the escape artist Wade got killed years ago was Jack's father. And the victims of these 3 magic shows, the Paris Bank, Wade who got rich by destroying magicians, and the insurance company owner, all played a role in his family's tragedy. So he spent 10 years planning his revenge, carefully designing 3 unprecedented magic shows to make every one of them pay the price they deserved. This brilliant film is called Now You See Me.